Forbidden Metaphysics is not a book you simply read. It is a doorway into the hidden laws that shape reality itself. Within these pages lies the exact understanding that allows you to bend reality, not through force, but through mastery of consciousness. Learn it quietly, and tell no one, because the most powerful knowledge works best in silence. Forbidden Metaphysics. Introduction. The universe whispers its secrets not through thunderous proclamations, but through the subtle vibrations of consciousness. You stand at the threshold of understanding that reality is not a fixed landscape, but a fluid canvas responsive to your innermost convictions. Every thought carries a frequency, an energetic signature that reverberates through the invisible realms of creation. Your mind is not merely an observer, but a sculptor of circumstance, shaping unseen currents that manifest into tangible experience. The law governing this transformation is neither mystical nor complex, but elegantly simple. What you consistently believe, you inevitably create. Imagine consciousness as a living instrument, tuned to transmit and receive energetic blueprints. Your emotions are not random occurrences, but precise instruments calibrating these transmissions. Joy, gratitude, and certainty act as powerful conductors, while doubt and fear function as interference signals, disrupting your manifestational clarity. This understanding transcends traditional spiritual narratives. It is not about wishful thinking or magical manipulation, but a disciplined art of inner alignment. You are learning to read the subtle language of energy, to recognize how your internal state directly choreographs external reality. The prohibition, "Learn it but tell no one," speaks to the sanctity of this knowledge. True mastery resides not in broadcasting techniques, but in quiet, unwavering practice. Each moment becomes an opportunity to refine your vibrational broadcast, to harmonize your internal frequency with desired outcomes. Your awareness is expanding from passive perception to active creation. You are decoding the matrix, not escaping reality, but understanding its fundamental malleability. Every breath becomes a brushstroke, every thought a potential transformation. Some of what I share in these readings touches metaphysical laws that cannot be fully revealed in a single video. If you are ready for the deeper current, the knowledge reserved for those who truly seek, I've placed it inside our free newsletter, The Hidden Collection. Subscribe now, and you'll also receive a free copy of The Kybalion, the ancient text where these metaphysical laws were first written down, available for a limited time only. Part 1. The First Awakening. Chapter 1. The Whispering Mirror. In the soft light of early morning, a broken hand mirror lay abandoned on weathered wooden planks, its fractured surface holding more than mere reflections. You are about to witness how a simple object becomes a gateway to understanding the profound connection between inner perception and external reality. Daisy Bell discovered this mirror on her grandmother's porch, an artifact that would transform her understanding of consciousness. As her fingers traced the cracked glass, something extraordinary happened. The mirror seemed to whisper back her thoughts, reflecting not just her physical form, but the landscape of her inner world. In that moment, you begin to understand a fundamental truth. Your world is a projection of your dominant vibration. The mirror became more than an object. It became a symbol of how perception activates energy fields that materialize as events. Daisy noticed how her fears had been subtly reshaping her reality, like invisible hands molding clay. Each crack in the mirror represented a fragmentation of her perception. Where she once saw limitations, the mirror revealed potential. Your thoughts are not passive observers, but active creators, weaving the fabric of your experience with every breath, every emotion, every silent belief. The universe communicates through resonance. Your attention is the magnetic force that draws experiences into your life. What you consistently focus on, you inevitably invite. The mirror showed Daisy that her internal dialogue was not merely commentary, but a precise instruction manual for reality. Benny Ray, a shy florist, discovered a similar principle through a simple morning ritual. By speaking gratitude into his coffee, he began to transform his experience. His customers started arriving with radiant smiles that mirrored his own inner state. This was no coincidence, but a demonstration of how vibration precedes event. When you change your inner tone, the outer world must harmonize. The universe responds not to your words, but to the energy behind them. Your emotions are the true language of manifestation, more powerful than any spoken decree. Practice. Each night, let your final thought be a thank you to the unseen forces aligning for your good, and each morning greet your reflection as a friend blooming toward fuller expression. The more genuine the feeling, the quicker the mirror responds. Chapter 2. The River of Thought. You stand at the river's edge, watching water flow effortlessly around stones, understanding now that your inner currents mirror this timeless dance of nature. Just as water finds its path without struggle, so too can your life unfold when you release the grip of resistance. Clara June's revelation speaks directly to you. Your thoughts are not meant to battle against reality, but to flow through it. Each ripple of doubt, each eddy of contradiction creates invisible barriers in the stream of your experience. The river knows no argument with its banks, no resistance to its journey. It simply moves. In the gentle wisdom of this metaphor, you begin to understand manifestation not as a forceful act of will, but as an alignment with natural rhythms. Your thoughts are liquid, capable of carving landscapes of experience when allowed to move freely. Resistance creates turbulence. Acceptance creates grace. Consider Otis Lee, the baker whose songs transformed simple ingredients. His melody was more than sound. It was intention, pure and unobstructed. When he kneaded dough with joy, when he sang with genuine peace, the bread rose not through mechanical effort, but through harmonic resonance. His villagers felt this, drawn not just by bread, but by the energy of creation itself. The universe responds to your internal state, not to your external struggles. Like water finding its path, like bread rising to a loving song, your life seeks its natural expression when you remove the obstacles of fear and doubt. Practice. In quiet moments, imagine your thoughts as water, cleansing and shaping your path. When tension appears, soften it with breath and gentle imagination until the current carries you again. Some currents glide peacefully, while others swirl around stones of worry, expectation, or uncertainty. Rather than judging the water for its movement, simply observe it. See each thought washing through your awareness, gently cleansing old impressions and carving a path toward greater clarity. Trust that even unseen currents are helping shape the course ahead. When tension appears, Picture it as a place where the stream has become narrowed or obstructed. Breathe slowly and allow your imagination to soften the edges of that resistance. With each exhale, see the water finding new space to flow, smoothing rough surfaces and dissolving what no longer needs to be held so tightly. There is no need to force the current forward. Water teaches that persistence and gentleness often accomplish what struggle cannot. As you continue this reflection, feel yourself becoming less attached to any single ripple or wave. The stream remains in motion, always renewing itself, always finding its way onward. Carry this image throughout your day. Whenever your mind feels crowded or your spirit feels strained, return to the vision of flowing water. And remember that clarity often arrives not through control, but through allowing life to move naturally through you once again. Chapter 3. The Silent Compass. You stand at the threshold of understanding a truth more ancient than the oldest mountains. Your intuition is not merely a feeling, but a living compass crafted by the universe itself. Like a river flowing beneath the surface of consciousness, it carries wisdom far beyond the limited perceptions of your rational mind. Millie Jo's journey through the forest becomes your own lesson. Imagine yourself surrounded by towering trees, where silence speaks louder than any sound. Her heartbeat, steady, rhythmic, transforms from a mere biological pulse into a spiritual navigation system. Each beat pulses with a message. Trust what cannot be seen, but can be profoundly felt. The forest represents your inner landscape, where intuition weaves through the dense foliage of thought and possibility. Logic demands proof, but intuition knows the path before the first step is taken. When Millie Jo allows her heartbeat to guide her, she discovers something remarkable. Alignment happens not through struggle, but through listening. The universe communicates in whispers, not thunderous declarations. These subtle nudges arrive as gentle impressions, soft inclinations that seem illogical at first. Yet they carry the blueprint of your most authentic journey. Your rational mind might resist, demanding evidence, but intuition operates on a different frequency, one of knowing beyond understanding. Consider Ernest Clyde's experience. A business-like impulse to postpone his trip might have seemed inconvenient, even nonsensical. But this seemingly random delay became the very mechanism through which he would meet his future partner. Such is the mysterious intelligence of intuition. It orchestrates encounters and opportunities that your conscious mind could never strategize. Your intuition is not separate from you. It is the deepest part of you communicating with the vast intelligence of the universe. It knows pathways invisible to ordinary perception, connecting threads of possibility that your limited vision cannot yet comprehend. When you learn to trust these whispers, you align yourself with a more expansive intelligence. You become a co-creator, not just a passive recipient of circumstances. Your intuition is the silent GPS of your soul, guiding you toward experiences that resonate with your deepest truth. Practice. Each evening, create a sacred ritual of reflection. Recall one intuitive whisper you followed. How did it unfold? Now remember an intuitive nudge you ignored. What did you miss? Feel gratitude for both moments, for they are teachers. Your awareness itself is the compass that grows stronger with each acknowledgement. Chapter 4. The Lantern Beneath the Bed. In the quiet shadows of her grandmother's attic, you are about to discover a truth as ancient as consciousness itself. Sadie Lou's hands trembled as she pulled an old brass lantern from beneath her bed, its surface etched with symbols older than memory. At first, the lantern appeared dormant, a relic of forgotten times. But something stirred within her, a whisper of possibility that danced between doubt and belief. When Sadie Lou first touched the lantern with complete certainty, something extraordinary happened. The wick ignited not by match or flame, but by the pure energy of her unwavering conviction. Its light did not flicker like ordinary fire, but burned steady and clear, revealing a luminescence that seemed to pulse with the rhythm of her own heartbeat. This was no ordinary light. This was the manifestation of belief itself, a living testament to the power that resides within you. Your thoughts are not mere passing fancies, but creative energies capable of illuminating the unseen realms of potential. Just as Sadie Lou's lantern responded to her inner certainty, so too does the universe align with the frequency of your deepest convictions. Later, Calvin Ross, an inventor whose dreams often lived at the edge of possibility, discovered this same principle. His experiments succeeded not through technical precision alone, but through the quality of his inner state. On days when optimism filled his spirit, inventions seemed to breathe with their own life. Doubt would render his creations inert, while belief made them spark and dance with potential. The universal law reveals itself through such stories. Your inner landscape is the true workshop of creation. Doubt does not punish you. It simply withdraws the energy required for manifestation. Like a lantern waiting for a spark, your dreams require the fuel of unwavering faith to illuminate their path. Your belief is not a passive hope, but an active force. It is the unseen wind that moves sailboats, the invisible hand that shapes reality. When you stand firm in your conviction, the world around you begins to reorganize, aligning itself with the vision you hold most true. Actionable practice. Hold any dream before sleep like that lantern. See it lit with certainty, and drift off expecting it to glow through the night. Close your eyes and imagine your deepest aspiration as a luminous flame. Feel its warmth, its steady brilliance. Breathe into this vision, allowing your belief to become so tangible that the boundary between imagination and reality begins to dissolve. Let the last thought before slumber be one of absolute knowing, that what you desire is not just possible, but already forming in the unseen realms of potential. Chapter 5. The Echo Garden. You are standing at the threshold of understanding how your inner landscape shapes the world around you. Just as a gardener tends to their plot with care, intention, and reverence, you too are constantly cultivating the soil of your reality. Nora May stood in her garden, frustration etched across her brow. Her seeds lay dormant, her soil barren, her anger seeping into every inch of earth. She would yell at the ground, demanding growth, wondering why her efforts yielded no blooms. Her emotions were a harsh wind, withering before anything could take root. The universal truth whispers softly. Creation is an intricate ecosystem where every thought, every emotion is either nourishment or drought. Your inner state is the water, the sunlight, the very breath that gives life to your dreams. When you saturate your intentions with anger, doubt, or desperation, you create an environment hostile to growth. Contrast emerged through Harvey Glenn, a gardener who understood the sacred dialogue between consciousness and matter. He would tend his roses with gentle whispers of love, his hands moving with tenderness, his heart radiating pure appreciation. Miraculously, his roses bloomed out of season, defying conventional understanding, a testament to the vibrational language of creation. Your thoughts are not mere idle chatter. They are seeds carrying potent energetic signatures. Each thought leaves an imprint, a vibrational blueprint that matter eagerly responds to and manifests. When you approach your goals with love, with belief, with unwavering faith, you create fertile ground for miracles. The interpretation is clear. Energy imprints matter with matching patterns. Your inner state is not separate from your external reality, but the very blueprint from which it emerges. Practice. Before acting on any goal, soften your heart and bless it as though it already flourished. The garden within answers before the petals appear. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Visualize your intention as a delicate seed. Surround it with pure, unconditional love. Whisper words of nurturing to this seed. Feel gratitude as though it has already blossomed. Let your heart's warmth be the water, your belief the sunlight, your patience the rich soil. Chapter 6. The Cloud Painter. The sky above you is never just a canvas, but a living membrane of potential waiting to be sculpted by your inner vision. You are an artist of unseen realms, and your imagination carries more power than any physical instrument. Lottie Ann understood this truth intimately. She would lay upon the emerald grass, her body still yet her mind radiant with intention. As she gazed upward, clouds began to dance, not by wind's capricious command, but by the subtle pressure of her thoughts. Where she imagined a soaring eagle, wisps would gather and form precise wing shapes. When her heart longed for a heart symbol, the clouds would curve and connect, painting her desire across the azure expanse. This was no mere coincidence. This was correspondence, the delicate conversation between inner vision and outer manifestation. Your thoughts are not static. They are living signals that reorganize the quantum fabric around you. Later that season, Ted Wayne discovered similar magic in his struggling restaurant. Each morning, before opening his doors, he would close his eyes and visualize every table filled with contented diners. He saw families laughing, business partners discussing opportunities, travelers sharing stories. His mental image was so vivid, so charged with emotion, that the very atmosphere seemed to shift. And then, almost as if summoned by his inner vision, travelers began arriving. Weary road warriors, families on cross-country adventures, local groups seeking warmth. They appeared as if drawn by an invisible thread of Ted's concentrated intention. The universe does not distinguish between your imagined reality and the physical one. It responds to the frequency of your belief, the clarity of your vision, the emotional resonance of your expectation. Your imagination is not a passive daydream, but an active, creative force. When you visualize, you are not merely hoping, you are commanding. You are sending precise instructions to the quantum field, which then begins organizing circumstances to match your inner picture. Close your eyes thrice daily and paint a mental sky of what you wish to feel, not just have, letting clouds of possibility form freely. Chapter 7. The Silver Thread. You are standing at the threshold of a profound revelation, a moment when the invisible threads connecting all existence become luminous and clear. just as Mabel Sue discovered the silver thread binding her consciousness to the vast cosmic network. You too are about to understand that separation is but an illusion crafted by limited perception. In the great tapestry of universal energy, every thought, every emotion, every intention is a vibrant strand weaving through the fabric of reality. Your consciousness is not confined within the boundaries of your physical form, but extends far beyond, touching, influencing, and resonating with the collective field of potential. Mabel Sue's dream was not merely a nocturnal vision, but a direct transmission from the unified field of consciousness. When she awoke, she understood that her individual experience was intricately linked with the grand symphony of existence. Each star in the infinite sky was not just a distant celestial body, but a reflection of the light within her own heart. This unity consciousness challenges everything you've been taught about individual struggle and isolation. In truth, you are never alone. Every challenge you face, every dream you nurture, every intention you hold is simultaneously supported and shaped by the collective energy surrounding you. Consider Chester Boyd's remarkable transformation. When he released his judgment and forgave his rival, the energetic blockage in his stalled project dissolved instantly. This was not coincidence, but a direct manifestation of the interconnected web of consciousness. Forgiveness acts as a powerful conductor, allowing energy to flow freely and restore natural alignment. Your individual consciousness is like a droplet in an infinite ocean, seemingly separate yet fundamentally inseparable from the whole. Every thought you generate ripples through this interconnected field, influencing circumstances far beyond your immediate perception. The universe does not distinguish between your personal desires and the collective flow. When you align your intentions with compassion, understanding, and unity, you become a conduit for transformative energy. Your personal manifestations are not isolated events, but collaborative expressions of the greater cosmic intelligence. Practice. As you breathe, sense a silver thread linking you to all beings, releasing judgment so shared light strengthens your manifestations. Close your eyes. Inhale deeply. Feel the silver thread emanating from your heart, extending beyond your physical form. With each breath, imagine this thread connecting you to every living being, humans, animals, plants, the earth itself. As you exhale, consciously release any judgment, resentment, or separation. Allow the thread to pulse with compassionate understanding. Feel how your intention to connect and heal automatically transforms the energetic landscape around you. Sense the collective light growing stronger with each breath, your individual radiance merging with the universal luminescence. Chapter 8. The Clock Without Hands. In the quiet corners of existence where moments blend like watercolors, you stand at the threshold of understanding time's most profound secret. The universe whispers its wisdom through unexpected vessels, and today it speaks through Dorothy Pearl's curious discovery. When Dorothy found her father's ancient timepiece, a mahogany clock stripped of its hands yet rhythmically ticking, she understood something extraordinary. This clock, seemingly broken, revealed a truth far more magnificent than mechanical precision. It demonstrated that time is not a linear progression, but an eternal now, a living, breathing moment of infinite potential. The clock's persistent rhythm represented something deeper than measurement. It symbolized the eternal present, where all creation occurs. Your thoughts, your dreams, your deepest intentions, they do not wait in some distant future. They exist in this very moment, vibrating with possibility. Imagine time not as a straight line, but as a vast, interconnected field of energy. Every moment contains the seeds of all potential realities. Your consciousness is the gardener, choosing which seeds to nurture, which dreams to water. Amos Reed's story illustrates this principle beautifully. When he released his anxious wondering about when success might arrive, opportunities began manifesting instantly. His detachment became the very gateway through which abundance flowed. By surrendering the need to control timing, he allowed the universe's intelligent design to orchestrate his path. This is the profound art of manifestation, not strategizing or plotting, but aligning with the eternal now. Your power resides in this moment, not tomorrow, not yesterday, but right here, where your awareness breathes life into potential. The clock without hands becomes a metaphor for your own relationship with time. Its steady ticking represents your inner rhythm, unbound by conventional constraints. You are not waiting for something to happen. You are continuously creating. When you truly inhabit the present, time becomes fluid. Limitations dissolve. Possibilities expand. Your consciousness becomes the canvas upon which reality paints itself. Practice. Throughout the day, whisper, "I am now," and feel completion already breathing with you where waiting once stood. Let the words draw your attention away from distant tomorrows and unfinished stories. Feel yourself settling into the fullness of the present moment, where life is not preparing to begin, but is already unfolding. With each repetition, allow the phrase to become less of a statement and more of a living experience. As you speak these words, imagine completion breathing alongside you, not the completion of every goal or desire, but the deeper sense that nothing essential is missing from this moment. Where waiting once stood, feel a quiet wholeness. Let your heart rest in the understanding that fulfillment is not always found at the end of a journey. Often it is the atmosphere in which the journey is best traveled. Return to this simple reminder whenever impatience, doubt, or longing arises. "I am now" becomes an anchor that draws you back to your center. From that place, action can be taken without strain, dreams can be held without anxiety, and life can be experienced without the constant feeling of postponement. In time, you may discover that the peace you sought in the future was gently breathing beside you all along. Chapter 9. The Feather Lesson. You stand upon a windswept hill where ancient grasses bend and whisper secrets older than memory. The universe speaks not in thunderous declarations, but in gentle rhythms, like the dance of feathers carried by unseen currents. Betty Jo understood this mystery before she even knew she understood it. Her laughter was not a weapon hurled at life, but a luminous invitation. Each time she chased feathers across the undulating landscape, she missed the profound truth. The wind was not something to pursue, but something that already moved with her. Your desires function similarly. When you strain and grasp, you create resistance. When you radiate joy, you become a magnetic center around which opportunities naturally spiral. The law of attraction does not respond to forceful demands, but to the frequency of your inner state. Consider how a feather travels, not through its own determination, but by surrendering to the wind's invisible guidance. Your dreams move in precisely the same manner. They are drawn to you when you release the tight grip of expectation and instead breathe with open-hearted anticipation. Leon Frank discovered this principle in his work. Once a salesman who pushed and manipulated, he transformed his approach. Instead of chasing clients, he began blessing each potential connection silently. He would pause before meetings, sending waves of genuine goodwill and appreciation, not as a strategy, but as a pure expression of his inner landscape. The result was remarkable. His sales tripled not through aggressive tactics, but through the magnetic power of authentic delight. He had become the feather, allowing the wind of opportunity to carry him exactly where he needed to be. Your power lies not in controlling outcomes, but in cultivating a state of joyful receptivity. When you treat your desires as delicate feathers, light, playful, unattached, they will dance toward you on currents you cannot see but can certainly feel. Actionable practice. Laugh lightly at your next desire, treating it as a feather drawn naturally to your breeze of joy. Chapter 10. The Open Window. You stand before a window clouded with condensation, understanding now that the mist is more than mere moisture. It is the tangible representation of your inner resistance. Just as Ruby Clarice discovered, the fog covering your perception is not external, but a reflection of the barriers you've unconsciously constructed. When Ruby wiped away the condensation from her window, sunlight cascaded into the room, transforming darkness into luminosity. Her simple act became a metaphor for mental clearing, removing the obstacles that block your natural radiance and abundance. Your mental landscape, like an attic filled with forgotten memories and unused potential, requires deliberate attention. Floyd Dean's experience illuminates this truth. When he began systematically organizing his physical space, something remarkable occurred within his inner world. The external act of decluttering became a catalyst for mental liberation. The universe responds to clarity. Each object you release, each thought you examine, each belief you question, creates space for new energy to flow. Resistance accumulates like dust in forgotten corners, dampening your vibration and obscuring your innate creative power. Imagine your mind as a vast, intricate space. The thoughts you harbor, unexamined fears, stale expectations, inherited limitations, are like old furniture blocking the windows of possibility. When you begin to move these mental artifacts, light streams in. Inspiration awakens, potential unfurls. Your environment mirrors your internal state. A cluttered space signals a cluttered consciousness. A clear space invites clarity of thought, purpose, and manifestation. The external world is but a reflection of your inner landscape, constantly responding to the energy you cultivate. Floyd's experience teaches that professional revival begins with internal reorganization. By clearing his physical space, he created energetic pathways for innovation. His career wasn't transformed by external forces, but by his willingness to create internal spaciousness. The teaching is fundamental. Clarity precedes creation. When you clear mental and physical clutter, you signal to the universe your readiness to receive. You become a conduit for inspiration, allowing abundance to flow through you with unprecedented ease. Practice. Spend moments feeling openness, in breath, in space, in attitude, until sunlight of inspiration fills unseen corners. Notice the spaciousness within your breath, the quiet expanse surrounding your body, and the willingness within your attitude to welcome new possibilities. Rather than reaching for inspiration, create room for it. An open window does not summon the breeze. It simply allows it to enter. As you rest in this sense of openness, imagine unseen corners of your inner world gradually illuminated. Areas once occupied by tension, certainty, or old assumptions become receptive to fresh insight. Like sunlight finding its way into a room at dawn, inspiration often arrives gently, revealing paths and perspectives that were present all along but hidden in shadow. Carry this openness into your daily interactions and decisions. Listen a little more deeply, observe a little more carefully, and allow life to surprise you. The more space you create within thought, emotion, and expectation, the more freely creative guidance can move through you. In time, what once felt like rare flashes of inspiration may become a steady light, quietly brightening every corner of your journey. Beneath every teaching on this channel runs a deeper metaphysical current, the unseen laws that shape reality itself. For those whose awareness is ready to receive it, I've gathered the deeper layer inside our free newsletter, the Hidden Collection. Join now and you'll also receive a free copy of the Kybalion, the original text that revealed these metaphysical laws to the world. Limited time only. Part 2. The Art of Alignment. Chapter 11. The Music of Matter. In the soft light of her mountain workshop, Effie Grace crafted crystal chimes that seemed to possess a living spirit. Unlike ordinary wind chimes that danced with every breeze, these delicate instruments responded only to the vibration of her inner landscape. When shadows of doubt or frustration crossed her mind, the crystals hung silent, motionless. But when joy bubbled from her heart, when gratitude sang through her veins, the chimes would sing, each crystal tone a perfect, pure resonance that seemed to pierce the very fabric of reality. You might wonder about the magic of such instruments. They were more than mere objects. They were mirrors of consciousness, reflecting the intricate relationship between internal state and external manifestation. Effie understood that her emotional frequency was the true conductor, and the chimes were but an extension of her inner music. Across the valley, in a small music room with worn wooden floors, Gordon Paul struggled with his old piano. His fingers moved mechanically, producing sounds that felt flat, lifeless, echoes of obligation rather than inspiration. The instrument seemed to resist his touch, as if sensing the lack of genuine connection. One evening, something shifted. Gordon began to approach each key not as a mechanical task, but as a blessing. He touched the ivory with reverence, whispering gratitude for the music waiting to emerge. His fingers, once tense, now moved with a gentle, loving intention. And then, transformation. Melodies began to flow, rich and alive, as though the piano itself was breathing with newfound freedom. The teaching was clear. Your inner state is the true instrument. Environment and objects are not separate from you, but responsive extensions of your consciousness. When you infuse your actions with genuine emotion, with sincere appreciation, the world around you must align. Effie's chimes and Gordon's piano were not anomalies, but living demonstrations of a universal principle. They showed that vibration precedes form, that feeling creates frequency, and frequency shapes reality. Practice. Hum softly whichever feeling you desire until surroundings seem to hum back in quiet recognition. Chapter 12. The Invisible Quilt. You stand at the threshold of creation where imagination weaves reality like a celestial tapestry. Hattie Rose understood this sacred art long before others recognized its power. In her small cottage, surrounded by threads of moonlight and possibility, she began a ritual that would transform understanding itself. Her hands moved with quiet certainty, fingers tracing invisible patterns across an empty canvas. Though no physical quilt existed, warmth radiated from her vision, a warmth born of pure intention. Each imagined stitch connected not just fabric, but the very essence of potential. The universal truth whispered through her practice. Imagination is not mere daydreaming, but the primordial language of manifestation. Before any creation emerges in the physical realm, it first breathes within the landscape of consciousness. Your inner vision acts as the blueprint, the energetic scaffold upon which reality constructs itself. Willis Jack embodied this principle in the world of work. Before posting a single job advertisement, he sat in profound meditation, visualizing not just employees, but a harmonious team pulsing with shared purpose. He saw their interactions, felt their collective energy, understood their unspoken connections. Remarkably, as his inner vision crystallized, the external world began to align. Candidates appeared who seemed precisely calibrated to his unspoken blueprint. They arrived not through conventional recruitment, but through synchronistic pathways that defied logical explanation. This is the alchemy of conscious creation, where inner clarity becomes an irresistible magnetic force. Your imagination does not merely suggest, it commands. It does not hope, it knows. When you craft a vision with unwavering certainty, the universe begins to assemble its resources to match your inner landscape. Your thoughts are not passive observers, but active architects. Each visualization is a vibrational invitation, a resonant frequency that draws corresponding experiences into your sphere. The more vivid and emotionally charged your inner image, the more swiftly external circumstances will shift to mirror that vision. Actionable practice. Each evening stitch gratitude through imagined moments of your fulfilled purpose until that gentle warmth rests upon your day. Each evening, sit quietly and imagine your fulfilled purpose already woven into the fabric of your life. See the moments that would naturally accompany it, the conversations, the acts of service, the quiet victories, and the simple joys. As each scene arises, stitch gratitude through it like a golden thread, giving thanks not merely for what has happened, but for what your heart has learned to welcome. Allow these imagined moments to become vivid through feeling rather than effort. Sense the satisfaction of meaningful work completed, the peace of living in alignment with your deepest values, and the quiet confidence that comes from expressing your gifts fully. Let gratitude settle into every detail until the vision feels less like a wish and more like a familiar memory waiting to be lived. As you drift toward rest, carry this gentle warmth with you. Let it soften the boundaries between imagination and expectation, planting seeds in the fertile ground of the subconscious. Over time, this nightly weaving creates an inner atmosphere of fulfillment, and the gratitude you cultivate in vision begins to color the experiences that unfold in your waking day. Chapter 13. The Whisper Trade. In the tapestry of creation, your words are living threads, weaving the very fabric of your reality. You might believe words are mere sounds that drift into silence, but they are far more. They are energetic seeds planted in the fertile ground of the universe. Penny Lou stood at the crossroads of manifestation, unaware that her spoken words were casting shadows over her deepest desires. Each time she spoke of scarcity, of struggle, of fierce competition, she was unknowingly constructing invisible barriers around her dreams. Her conversations were laced with whispers of doubt, tales of limitation that echoed through the chambers of potential. The universal law is simple, yet profound. What you speak, you summon. Your language is not just communication, it is creation. Each word carries a vibration, a frequency that resonates beyond the immediate moment, calling forth experiences that match its tone. Imagine your words as coins of energetic currency. Some currencies build wealth, while others bankrupt potential. When you speak of lack, you spend from a depleted account. When you speak of abundance, you invest in unseen markets of opportunity. Eldon Ray understood this sacred principle. He did not merely wish for prosperity. He cultivated it through the careful gardening of his spoken world. Each conversation became a blessing, each interaction an opportunity to align with abundance. He spoke of potential, of growth, of mutual success. His words were not hollow affirmations, but genuine recognitions of possibility. The universe listens, not with ears, but with an intricate web of vibrational receptors that translate intention into manifestation. When Eldon spoke kindly, when he blessed opportunities for himself and others, something remarkable occurred. Acquaintances began to see him differently. They sensed an energy of genuine support, of expansive thinking. Investments began to flow, not through manipulation, but through authentic resonance. People were drawn to contribute, to collaborate, to support. His spoken world had become a magnetic field of prosperity. Your language is a sacred tool. It is not about positive thinking, but about genuine alignment. When you speak, you are not describing reality. You are constructing it. Each word is a brushstroke on the canvas of existence. Each sentence, a blueprint for emerging experience. Practice creates mastery. The art of speaking your world into being is a skill refined through conscious intention. Reflection. Practice. Speak blessings softly before sleep about your own name until inner dialogues echo them automatically. Chapter 14. The Candle of Choice. You stand at the threshold of possibility, where every choice whispers its potential into the universe. Ida Fey's moment of decision reflects the sacred art of commitment, a power that resides within you, waiting to be awakened. When Ida Fey placed 2 candles before her, one pale as moonlight and the other rich with golden warmth, she was performing a ritual older than words. The pale candle flickered uncertainly, representing doubt and hesitation. The golden candle burned with unwavering certainty, embodying the pure energy of commitment. As she gazed upon these flames, you too can understand a fundamental truth of manifestation. Your inner conviction determines the brightness of your path. Hesitation splits your energy, creating wavering currents that dissipate your power. But when you choose, truly choose, with every fiber of your being, the universe responds with remarkable precision. Martin Clyde understood this principle intimately. when he fully claimed his identity as an artist, not tentatively or apologetically, but with complete conviction, the world shifted around his commitment. Patronage appeared as if summoned by the very clarity of his decision. This is not magic, but the natural response of energy to focused intention. Your choices are not mere selections between options. They are declarations to the universe. Each time you waver, you send a signal of uncertainty. Each time you commit, you send a beacon of clarity that attracts corresponding energies and opportunities. Commitment is not about force, but about alignment. It's about placing your entire being behind a vision, allowing your inner light to burn so brightly that external circumstances cannot help but reflect its radiance. The universe listens not to your words, but to the vibration of your conviction. When you stand fully in your choice, when you embrace your path without reservation, you activate a profound resonance that draws support, guidance, and manifestation. The practice. Whisper, "I choose," and feel its warmth spread like golden light through your chest whenever indecision flickers. Chapter 15. The Bridge of Breath. You stand at the threshold of understanding a power so subtle yet so profound that it has transformed countless lives, the art of conscious breathing. Just as a maestro conducts an orchestra with delicate movements, you can conduct the energy of your entire existence through the rhythm of your breath. Velma Kate was a musician who once trembled at the mere thought of performing. Her hands would shake, her throat would constrict, and her mind would spiral into a whirlpool of doubt. But everything changed when she discovered the sacred language of breath. Before each performance, Velma Kate would close her eyes and breathe with intention. She would inhale calm, drawing tranquility deep into her lungs, feeling it expand within her chest. With each exhale, she would release her fears, allowing brilliance to flow through her. Her breath became a bridge, connecting her inner world of potential with the outer landscape of performance. The universal principle revealed itself through her practice. Breath is not merely a biological function, but a conduit of consciousness. Each inhale is an invitation to receive, each exhale an opportunity to create. Your breath carries the frequency of your intentions, painting the canvas of your reality with invisible strokes. Harold Ned, a business consultant known for navigating tense negotiations, understood this principle intimately. During high-stakes meetings where conflict threatened to derail progress, he would subtly practice rhythmic breathing. As others became entangled in heated arguments, Harold would breathe, slow, deliberate, centered. His breath transformed the room's energy. Tensions would soften, perspectives would shift, and seemingly irreconcilable differences would find unexpected harmony. Harold's breath was not just air moving in and out, but a powerful instrument of alignment and resolution. The teaching is clear. Your breath is a remarkable tool of transformation. It is the connection between your inner landscape and the external world, a living bridge that can recalibrate reality in each moment. Reflection. Practice. Breathe as if heaven and earth meet inside your ribs until every inhale feels creative and every exhale releases resistance. With each inhale, imagine drawing inspiration from the vastness above and strength from the ground below, allowing both currents to unite within you. Feel yourself becoming a living bridge between possibility and manifestation, receiving the subtle energies that nourish creation itself. As the breath deepens, Sense every inhale carrying the seed of a new reality. Let it arrive filled with fresh ideas, renewed faith, and quiet expectancy. Do not strain to create. Simply welcome the creative impulse already flowing through life. In this way, each breath becomes an act of participation in an ever-unfolding process of growth and transformation. With every exhale, release resistance as naturally as a tree releases old leaves to the wind. Let go of doubt, urgency, and the need to control every outcome. Trust that what is meant to emerge is finding its way through channels often unseen. As creative breath enters and resistance departs, you may discover a profound harmony within, a state where inspiration flows freely, action feels effortless, and life responds to the rhythm of your inner alignment. What I share in these readings is only the surface of a far older wisdom, the metaphysical laws that govern manifestation, energy, and reality itself. The true depth lives inside our free newsletter, The Hidden Collection. Sign up now and receive a free copy of The Kabbalion, the ancient book where these metaphysical laws were first revealed. Available for a limited time only. Chapter 16. The Prism of Perspective. The light of understanding flows through you, waiting to be transformed by the subtle art of perception. Just as a single beam of white light contains infinite colors, your experience holds endless potential, waiting to be revealed through the precise angle of your awareness. Susie Jane discovered this truth through a simple glass prism inherited from her grandmother's collection. It was an unremarkable object to most, a delicate triangle of clear glass that might catch dust on an old windowsill. But in Susie's hands, it became a portal of revelation. One afternoon, as sunlight streamed through her window, Susie held the prism, turning it slowly between her fingers. Where moments before there was only white light, now a cascade of colors danced across her wall. Vibrant reds, deep blues, soft greens, and radiant yellows. Each movement of her hand transformed the light, revealing hidden spectrums that existed within the original beam. The universe whispered its lesson. Perception is not a fixed state, but a dynamic dance of interpretation. What appears singular can bloom into multiplicity when viewed from a different angle. Your reality is not carved in stone, but malleable as light passing through crystal. Donnie Earle learned this principle through a moment of profound transformation. When he lost his position at a local manufacturing plant, most would have seen only failure. But Donnie chose to rotate his mental prism, reframing the experience not as a loss, but as an intensive training ground for his future. Where others might have collapsed into despair, Donnie saw opportunity. He studied the circumstances that led to his departure, extracting wisdom from each moment. He recognized patterns, developed new skills, and approached his job search with a renewed sense of purpose. Within weeks, he discovered a position that not only matched his previous role but exceeded it in every meaningful way. The teaching crystallizes. Meaning is not something that happens to you, but something you actively create. Your interpretation is the prism through which experience passes, determining the colors of your reality. Just as Susie's glass prism revealed hidden spectrums of light, your consciousness holds the power to transform perception. Each shift in angle can transmute pain into growth, loss into learning, challenge into opportunity. Reflection. Practice. Whenever upset, imagine turning your prism until a softer color floods that memory. See the troubling memory entering it as a harsh beam of light, intense and unyielding. Instead of resisting the experience, gently turn the prism and watch the light refract into new colors. Allow a softer shade, understanding, compassion, patience, or wisdom, to emerge and bathe the memory in a gentler glow. As the color changes, notice how the emotional texture of the memory begins to shift. The event itself may remain the same, yet your relationship to it becomes more spacious and forgiving. What once appeared as a wound may reveal itself as a lesson, a redirection, or a moment that quietly strengthened your character. The prism does not erase the past. It reveals dimensions of meaning that were hidden by a single perspective. Return to this inner gesture whenever difficult emotions arise. With practice, you will remember that every experience contains more than one color, more than one interpretation, more than one possibility for growth. By consciously turning the prism of your perception, you invite greater harmony into your inner world, allowing even challenging memories to contribute their light to the larger mosaic of your life. Chapter 17. The Secret Letter. You stand at the threshold of understanding how perception weaves reality's intricate tapestry. Minnie Pearl knew something extraordinary about the nature of time and expectation, a secret that transcends ordinary understanding. Her letters were not mere correspondence, but quantum bridges connecting present awareness with future manifestation. Each carefully crafted word became a vibrational blueprint, quietly instructing the universe about her desired experiences. She wrote not with hope, but with the unwavering certainty of someone recalling a memory already lived. When Minnie penned her letters, she did not wish or want. She remembered. "I remember when my small bakery became the heart of our town," she would write, describing the warmth of sunlight streaming through windows, the laughter of customers, the gentle hum of community gathering around her creations. Her words carried the emotional texture of lived experience, not the desperate longing of unfulfilled desire. The universe listens differently to such declarations, not as a distant wish, but as an instruction, a sacred contract already signed in the language of feeling. Minnie's letters were less about prediction and more about permission. Permission for joy to find its way through the intricate pathways of possibility. Wallace Ray understood this principle through his gratitude journals. Each evening, he would document abundance as though it were already present. "I am grateful for the unexpected income that flows easily into my life," he would write, his pen moving with the confidence of someone accounting for wealth already received. The quantum field does not distinguish between what is and what could be. It responds to the emotional signature of your inner landscape. Your feelings are the paintbrush, your beliefs the canvas, and your consistent energy the masterpiece being continuously created. This is not magical thinking, but a profound understanding of consciousness. You are always broadcasting, always sending signals into the energetic network that surrounds and interpenetrates physical reality. The question is not whether you can manifest, but what you are manifesting moment by moment. Your perspective is the prism through which universal light separates into the colors of your experience. Rotate it slightly, and entire worlds transform. Practice. Write a note tonight, beginning with "I remember when," and let it describe your dream as already cherished memory. Chapter 18. The Garden Between Stars. In the vast tapestry of existence, you are a living constellation, capable of weaving dreams far beyond the familiar boundaries of earthly perception. Your imagination is not merely a fleeting thought, but a bridge connecting the visible and invisible realms of creation. Lucy May understood this truth in a moment of extraordinary revelation. While tending her garden one luminous evening, she gazed upward and saw not just stars, but living pathways of possibility. The flowers surrounding her seemed to whisper ancient secrets, that consciousness knows no limits, that your inner landscape can bloom across universes. Her vision revealed a profound teaching. The boundary between spiritual and physical reality is an illusion created by limited perception. Just as a seed contains an entire forest within its small form, you too hold infinite potential waiting to unfurl. The universe communicates through subtle vibrations of intention. When Lucy imagined herself nurturing blossoms between distant constellations, she wasn't engaging in mere fantasy. She was mapping energetic pathways, creating corridors of potential that transcend conventional understanding. Consider Percy Glenn's experience, a testament to the power of expansive imagination. When he envisioned global cooperation, not as a distant dream, but as a living reality, unexpected support emerged. Multinational organizations began aligning with his vision, as if his concentrated thought had become a magnetic force drawing collaborative energies. This is the art of conscious creation, to see beyond current circumstances, to feel the reality of your vision with such clarity that the external world has no choice but to reorganize itself around your inner conviction. Your consciousness is not confined to your physical form. It is a dynamic, radiant energy capable of communicating across dimensions, of reshaping matter through focused intention. Every thought you nurture is a seed planted in the quantum field, waiting to germinate. Practice. As darkness falls, step outside and gaze into the night sky. Let your breath synchronize with the distant starlight. Stare into those celestial expanses until you sense those distant lights breathing with you, co-creating your next miracle. Chapter 19. The Gratitude Bell. You stand at the threshold of a profound understanding, that every moment breathes with potential when acknowledged with reverence. Nellie Dawn understood this sacred truth better than most, transforming her daily rhythms into a spiritual practice that resonated far beyond her modest farmhouse. Each morning, before sweeping her wooden floors or kneading bread dough, Nellie would ring a small brass bell. Its clear tone wasn't merely a signal to begin work, but a ceremonial invocation, a way of consecrating ordinary tasks with extraordinary awareness. The bell's sound was her way of saying, "I see you, I honor you, I am grateful." Her bell rang when she pulled water from the well, when she mended her husband's work shirts, when she tended her garden. And something miraculous happened in those moments. The chores ceased being mundane and became acts of sacred connection. The energy around her seemed to shimmer, to respond to her intentional gratitude. Word spread through her small community about Nellie's curious practice. Some thought her peculiar, but others were intrigued. Randall Clay, a manager at the local manufacturing plant, heard her story and felt something stir within him. Inspired, he began his own bell-ringing ritual at work. Before meetings, before shifting machinery, before signing contracts, He would pause and ring a small bell. His colleagues initially looked puzzled, then curious. The vibration of appreciation began to transform the workspace. Morale shifted. Productivity increased. Employees started speaking more kindly to one another. The bell became a symbol of collective appreciation, a reminder that every task, no matter how small, carries inherent dignity. The universe, you'll discover, responds to genuine gratitude like a flower responding to sunlight. When you acknowledge the sacred in the simple, something profound awakens, an invisible current of energy that amplifies your intention and aligns circumstances with your most heartfelt desires. Your practice is your power. Your appreciation is your alchemy. Practice. Whisper thank you before each simple act until life itself becomes one unbroken thank you. Before rising from bed, before opening a door, before taking a sip of water, offer gratitude as quietly as a blessing. Let these small acknowledgments transform ordinary moments into sacred encounters, revealing the hidden generosity woven into everyday life. As this habit deepens, gratitude ceases to be a response to favorable conditions and becomes the atmosphere through which you move. The mind begins to notice gifts where it once saw routine, and the heart discovers abundance where it once overlooked it. Each whispered "thank you" becomes a thread, weaving separate moments into a single tapestry of appreciation. In time, you may find that gratitude no longer requires deliberate effort. It flows naturally through your thoughts, words, and actions like a gentle current beneath all experience. Then life itself becomes one unbroken thank you, a continuous recognition that every breath, every meeting, every opportunity, and every lesson participates in a quiet miracle unfolding around and within you. Chapter 20. The Silent Audience. In the quiet corners of your inner landscape, where thoughts dance and whispers echo, lies a profound truth waiting to be awakened. You are never truly alone, never speaking into a void. Every word, every intention, every silent breath is witnessed by an intelligence far more vast and supportive than you might imagine. Goldie Ruth understood this secret. In her small study, surrounded by empty chairs, she would practice her speeches with a curious conviction. At first, her voice trembled with uncertainty, but gradually a remarkable transformation occurred. She began to sense an unseen presence, not threatening, but encouraging. The chairs seemed to lean in, not physically, but energetically. An invisible audience was listening, not with judgment, but with pure, supportive attention. Each time Goldie spoke, she felt a subtle warmth, a gentle applause that existed beyond sound. Her words were no longer just sounds escaping her lips, but vibrations reaching into the quantum fabric of possibility. She was communicating not just with the physical space around her, but with the universal intelligence that weaves through all existence. The teaching here transcends mere motivation. It reveals a fundamental principle of creation. Every thought, every utterance is observed. The universe doesn't just passively receive, it actively listens, responds, and collaborates. Your inner dialogue is a sacred conversation with the creative force that shapes reality. Consider Emmett Lane, who discovered this principle in the most ordinary of spaces, his automobile. During his daily commute, he began speaking affirmations aloud. "I am capable. Opportunities flow to me effortlessly. My work creates meaningful impact." Initially, these words felt awkward, like a performance without an audience. But something shifted. As Emmett continued, he started sensing a friendly energy surrounding him, not a mystical apparition, but a palpable supportiveness. His goals, once distant and foggy, began crystallizing. Opportunities that seemed improbable started emerging with surprising ease. The invisible audience was not just listening, it was conspiring on his behalf. This is the profound art of conscious creation. When you recognize that your thoughts and words are constantly being received by an intelligent, responsive universe, you transform from a passive observer to an active creator. Your inner conversations become invocations, your intentions become instructions, your faith becomes the very mechanism of manifestation. The universal intelligence does not judge your current circumstances. It responds to your vibration, your genuine feeling, your unwavering belief. It delights in your expansion, celebrates your courage, and stands ready to support your unfolding. Practice. Before any endeavor, nod to the invisible audience that delights in your unfolding and perform from joy. Part 3. The Mastery of Reality. Chapter 21. The Dream Architect. In the quiet moments between waking and dreaming, you hold the most powerful tool of creation, your imagination. Bessie Ray understood this secret long before others recognized its profound truth. Dreams are not mere flights of fancy or temporary escapes from reality. They are living blueprints, intricate designs that the universe reads like architectural plans, preparing to construct your deepest visions. Bessie would sit by her window, sketching not just images, but entire worlds with the precision of an engineer and the wonder of an artist. Each line she drew carried intention, each stroke a whisper to the unseen forces that weave reality. She knew that imagination was not about wishful thinking, but about conscious design, creating inner landscapes so vivid that the external world could not help but conform. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is experienced. It receives your thoughts as instructions, like a diligent worker receiving blueprints. When you design with clarity, with emotion, with unwavering belief, you activate a cosmic construction crew that begins manifesting your vision before you fully comprehend its unfolding. Vernon Dale discovered this principle through his dream cottage. Each night he would close his eyes and meticulously sketch its details: the weathered cedar shingles, the stone chimney with its gentle curve, the wide porch facing the morning sun. He drew not from external catalogues, but from an internal landscape of comfort and belonging. Months passed, and when he finally purchased land and began building, he was astonished. The cottage emerged exactly as he had imagined, down to the smallest architectural nuance. This is the alchemy of creation. Your inner vision becomes the template that reality follows. The universe does not judge your dreams. It simply responds to their energetic blueprint. Every detail you imagine with genuine feeling is a signal, a coordinate that guides manifestation. Your thoughts are not passive. They are active, dynamic forces that shape the quantum field around you. When you design with precision, with love, with absolute conviction, you become more than a dreamer. You become an architect of reality. Imagine your thoughts as living entities, each one carrying the potential to transform matter. They move through unseen dimensions, communicating with the great creative intelligence that permeates all things. Your job is not to force or struggle, but to design with clarity and trust. Practice. As sleep approaches, design one joyful scene knowing the universe begins construction before dawn. Chapter 22. The Golden Silence. You are standing at the threshold of creation's most profound mystery, the fertile silence where dreams take root and reality reshapes itself. Just as a seed contains entire forests in its quiet core, your mind harbors universes waiting to unfold. Fannie Lou understood this sacred principle better than most. Where others saw emptiness, she perceived a living canvas of potential. Her practice was not about forcing thoughts, but allowing them to dissolve into a luminous stillness so pure that new ideas could spontaneously emerge, like delicate flowers breaking through pristine snow. The art of receptivity is not passive, but an active cultivation of inner spaciousness. When you learn to quiet the mind's incessant chatter, you create an opening, a sacred portal through which inspiration can flow. Your thoughts are not meant to be controlled, but witnessed, not dominated, but gently observed. Consider how a calm pond reflects the sky perfectly when its surface remains undisturbed. Your consciousness operates similarly. When turbulent thoughts settle, clarity emerges. Each moment of silence is an invitation to the universe, a whispered request for guidance. Owen Ray discovered this principle in his professional life. Between client meetings, he began introducing short meditation moments, brief interludes of intentional quiet. What seemed like mere pauses became transformative spaces of profound insight. His decisions grew sharper, more intuitive. Choices that once required laborious analysis now arose naturally, as if guided by an unseen intelligence. This is the true power of receptivity. It completes the manifestation circuit. Your desires are not just about sending energy outward, but creating the inner conditions where inspiration can enter. Silence is not emptiness, but a living intelligence waiting to communicate. When you learn to listen, truly listen, you'll realize that inspiration is always speaking. It whispers through the spaces between thoughts, nudges through intuitive impulses, and illuminates through moments of unexpected clarity. Practice becomes your bridge between inner silence and outer manifestation. By consistently creating space for quiet reflection, you train yourself to become a clear channel for universal wisdom. Practice. Enter silence each day as if greeting an old friend, listening until inspiration whispers through calm. Chapter 23. The Loyal Shadow. You are standing at the threshold of a profound revelation, one that will transform how you perceive your own existence. Just as Lulabeth discovered the intimate dance between inner identity and outer reality, you too are about to understand the magical principle of self-reflection. Imagine your shadow as more than a mere dark silhouette following your movements. It is, in truth, a living canvas that reveals the deepest whispers of your soul. Every step you take, every belief you hold, every thought you nurture, these are the choreographers of your shadow's intricate dance. The universe speaks a language of correspondence. What lives inside you will inevitably manifest outside of you. Your self-concept is not just a mental construct. It is a powerful blueprint that shapes the very landscape of your experience. When you change how you see yourself, the world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your new perception. Consider Johnny Earle's transformation. Once trapped in the narrative of being unlucky, a story that clung to him like a heavy cloak, he made a radical choice. He shifted from "I am unlucky" to "I am chosen." This was not mere positive thinking, but a fundamental realignment of his internal narrative. And as he changed his inner dialogue, the external world responded with synchronistic precision. Your shadow is a loyal companion, always reflecting your truest beliefs, even when those beliefs operate beneath the surface of your conscious awareness. It does not judge or argue, it simply mirrors. When you truly embrace a new identity, your shadow, and by extension, your reality, will dance in perfect harmony with that belief. The power lies not in forcing change, but in gentle, consistent reimagining. Your self-concept is a living, breathing entity that can be nurtured, transformed, and elevated. Each "I am" statement is a seed planted in the fertile ground of your consciousness, waiting to sprout and bloom into lived experience. Reflect on the shadows you have carried, the limiting beliefs, the old stories, the inherited narratives that have defined your journey. Recognize that these are not immutable truths, but malleable energies waiting for your conscious redesign. As daylight begins to fade, creating long, stretching shadows across the landscape, you are invited into a sacred practice of transformation. Practice. Whisper your chosen "I am" as daylight fades and let its echo follow you home. Chapter 24. The Crystal Door. In the vast landscape of consciousness, you stand before a crystal door that shimmers with infinite possibilities. The glass reflects not just your image, but the myriad paths your life could traverse, each timeline vibrating with potential, waiting for your attention to activate its reality. You understand now that reality is not a fixed point, but a fluid landscape of potential. Your focus is the architect, your attention the key that unlocks specific doorways of experience. The crystal door before you is not merely a metaphor, but a living representation of the quantum field where all potential futures coexist. Every thought, every sustained emotion is a frequency that resonates with a particular timeline. Some doorways gleam with opportunity, others fade into translucent mist. But the power remains always with you, the observer, the chooser, the creator. This is the profound teaching of quantum selection. You are not bound by circumstance, but liberated by consciousness. Your inner state does not merely react to external conditions, it actively selects and shapes them. Each moment offers a choice, each breath a chance to realign with your most expansive vision. When you learn to hold a vision with unwavering certainty, the universe begins to rearrange itself to match your frequency. This is not magic, but the fundamental law of resonance. Your sustained attention is a magnetic force that draws matching experiences into your field. Consider how Clyde Benn discovered this truth. By visualizing joy not as a distant dream but as his current reality, he began to notice subtle shifts. Opportunities that once seemed closed now appeared. Conversations carried different energy. His internal landscape of joy began to reshape the external world, not through force, but through harmonious alignment. The crystal door stands before you, translucent and alive. Its surface reflects not just what is, but what could be. Your imagination is not mere fantasy, but a creative mechanism that interfaces with the quantum field. When you learn to inhabit your desired reality internally, external circumstances must eventually synchronize. This is the art of conscious creation, to live from the end, to feel the reality of your vision so completely that manifestation becomes inevitable. The door awaits your selection, your focus, your conviction. Practice. Visualize stepping through a shimmering doorway labeled with your happiest vibration and feel yourself belong there. A shimmering doorway standing before you, alive with soft light and inscribed with the essence of your happiest vibration. Peace, joy, abundance, love, or whatever quality calls most deeply to your heart. Feel its presence as an invitation rather than a challenge. The doorway does not test your worthiness. It simply waits for your willingness to enter. As you step across the threshold, sense the atmosphere changing around you. The air feels lighter, your posture more natural, and your spirit strangely at home. Notice how this version of reality welcomes you without hesitation. Here, happiness is not something to earn, chase, or prove. It is the native language of the place, and you understand it effortlessly because it has always belonged to you. Remain there for a few moments and allow the feeling of belonging to settle into every part of your being. Let your thoughts, emotions, and expectations align with the world beyond the doorway. When you return to your day, carry that vibration with you. The more often you remember that inner crossing, the less the doorway feels imaginary, and the more it feels like the entrance to a reality already unfolding around you. There are metaphysical truths I cannot speak openly in these readings, laws too powerful to share with those who are not yet ready. For the ones who are, I've placed the deeper teachings inside our free newsletter, The Hidden Collection. Subscribe now, and you'll also receive a free copy of the Kybalion, the ancient text where these metaphysical laws were first preserved, available for a limited time only. Chapter 25. The Lighthouse Inside. You stand at the threshold of your own inner wisdom, a beacon waiting to be recognized. Like Ivy Rose, you have been seeking guidance from every direction, consulting countless voices outside yourself, believing that truth resides elsewhere. But the most profound revelation awaits within your own luminous core. Imagine, for a moment, that your chest contains a lighthouse, not a distant external beacon, but an internal radiance that has always been present. This light does not flicker or waver. It shines with steady, unwavering certainty. It is the pure expression of your intuition, your deepest knowing that transcends external validation. Ivy Rose discovered this truth when she stopped looking outward and turned her attention inward. The moment she recognized the glow within her own being, external guidance lost its power. Her internal lighthouse became her most trusted navigator, illuminating paths that no external map could reveal. Consider Milton J., a leader who transformed his approach by trusting his innermost instincts. Where once he sought consensus and external approval, he began listening to the quiet voice of his own wisdom. His leadership did not diminish, but flourished, radiating an authenticity that drew others naturally toward his vision. The universe speaks to you through this internal light. It is not a distant, abstract concept, but a living intelligence that resides within your very being. Every time you have doubted yourself, you have momentarily dimmed this lighthouse. but it never truly goes out. It merely awaits your recognition. Self-trust is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is the profound understanding that you are not separate from the creative intelligence of the universe, but a direct expression of it. Your intuition is not a weak whisper, but a powerful transmission, a clear signal from the depths of your consciousness. When you trust yourself completely, you become an instrument of divine guidance. Your actions flow not from fear or external pressure, but from a place of deep, internal resonance. This is where true power resides, not in controlling outcomes, but in trusting the wisdom that moves through you. Practice, close eyes, and sense that inward beam showing your next act with quiet certainty. Chapter 26. The Infinite Canvas. You stand before the canvas of existence, paintbrush poised between potential and manifestation. Your emotions are not merely internal experiences, but living energies that color the world around you. Della Fey understood this profound truth. That feeling is the most potent creative force, more powerful than technique or skill. When Della first began painting, she meticulously captured landscapes, rolling hills, distant mountains, delicate wildflower meadows. Her technical skill was impeccable, yet something felt missing. She realized that true art, true creation, emerges not from replicating external scenes, but from transmitting internal vibrations. She began painting emotions themselves. Joy became golden waves rippling across canvas. Hope manifested as soft blue horizons blending into radiant white light. Healing transformed into emerald currents that seemed to pulse with living energy. Her paintings were no longer static images but conduits of feeling, resonating with viewers far beyond her small studio. People who purchased her artwork reported unexpected shifts. A businessman feeling stuck would find renewed inspiration. A grieving widow would experience unexpected warmth. The paintings carried Della's intentional emotional frequency, traveling silently yet powerfully through unseen channels. Rufus Dale discovered a similar principle in music. Where others heard notes, he heard emotional landscapes. His compositions weren't just sound, but vibrational healing. Each melody carried deliberate frequencies of hope, resilience, and transformation. The universal truth revealed: emotion is the primary language of creation. Your inner state doesn't just reflect reality, it generates it. Every feeling you cultivate is a brushstroke on the canvas of existence, blending and shaping circumstances before they crystallize into physical form. Your creative power isn't limited to art. Every conversation, every thought, every breath is an opportunity to paint with the colors of your inner world. When you understand this, you become a conscious artist of reality, intentionally selecting and blending emotional hues. Practice. Feel the color of your current emotion and gently mix in a brighter shade through appreciation. Chapter 27. The Mirror Lake. You stand at the edge of stillness, where water becomes a living mirror of potential. Your thoughts are not mere whispers, but architects of reality, and this lake before you understands a language deeper than words. Wanda Jean discovered this truth one quiet morning when the lake's surface began transforming not with her physical reflection, but with intricate landscapes of possibility. Each ripple carried a different potential: career paths, relationships, adventures, all shimmering just beneath the water's skin, waiting to be chosen. The lake teaches you that observation is not passive witnessing, but an active force of creation. Every glance collapses infinite probabilities into specific manifestations. Your attention is a powerful lens, focusing scattered potential into precise form. Later, Sidney Paul would understand this principle profoundly. By the same waters, he learned to meditate with intention, his calm breathing synchronized with the lake's gentle movements. As he visualized success, not with desperate grasping, but with serene certainty, the water's surface began to dance with his emerging reality. This is the art of precise manifestation, not forcing outcomes, but creating a receptive inner environment where desired realities can emerge naturally. Your mind is the lake, your thoughts are the currents, and your focused attention is the gentle wind that arranges those currents into meaningful patterns. The universe responds to the quality of your inner state. Agitation creates choppy, fragmented reflections. Serenity allows clear, unbroken visions to form. When you align your internal landscape with the outcome you desire, external circumstances must reconfigure to match. Practice. Contemplate still water or inner serenity until your vision appears upon its glass, awaiting your nod to become real. Practice. Contemplate still water or the quiet lake of your own awareness until all inner movement settles. Gaze gently into that calmness and imagine your desired life reflected upon its shining surface. See it not as a distant possibility, but as a living image resting patiently before you, waiting for recognition rather than pursuit. As you hold the vision, resist the urge to analyze, question, or force its arrival. A clear reflection appears only when the water remains undisturbed. In the same way, your deepest desires reveal themselves most clearly when the mind grows tranquil. Let certainty replace effort, and allow the image to feel familiar, as though it already belongs to you. When the reflection feels vivid, offer it a silent nod of acceptance. This nod is not a request, but a declaration that you welcome the reality being shown. Carry that quiet agreement into the rest of your day. The stillness that revealed the vision can also become the bridge through which it gently enters experience. Chapter 28. The Phoenix Signal. You stand at the threshold of transformation, where fire becomes your most profound teacher. Like Esther Liu, you possess an inner flame capable of consuming doubt, burning away layers of hesitation that have long obscured your true essence. Imagine doubt as fragile parchment, thin and brittle. Your inner fire, not destructive but regenerative, moves through these fragile barriers, transmuting uncertainty into crystalline clarity. Each flickering thought of limitation curls and dissolves, revealing the strong, resilient spirit beneath. Esther Liu's journey teaches that true power emerges not from battling your shadows, but from allowing their gentle dissolution. When you cease resisting and instead witness your fears with compassionate awareness, transformation becomes effortless. The flame of consciousness does not fight, it simply illuminates. Walter Glenn understood this sacred principle of surrender. By releasing his grip on how things should be, he discovered expansive pathways previously hidden by his own rigid expectations. His story whispers a universal truth. Endings are not finalities, but portals to unexpected beginnings. Your doubts are not enemies to be conquered, but messengers carrying wisdom. Each uncertainty holds a fragment of your unexplored potential. When you listen without judgment, when you allow these fragments to be transformed by your inner fire, miraculous shifts occur. The flame of transformation does not destroy, it refines. It burns away the non-essential, leaving only your most authentic self. Like metal heated and reshaped, you emerge stronger, more malleable, more true to your core essence. As you stand within this alchemical moment, feel the warmth of potential surrounding you. Your doubts are not permanent structures, but temporary veils, waiting to be dissolved by the steady, compassionate flame of your consciousness. Practice. Picture any struggle burning into light while you stand renewed within its glow, unafraid. Chapter 29. The Diamond Breath. You stand at the threshold of transformation, where breath becomes the alchemical flame that turns the leaden weight of fear into crystalline possibility. Maggie June understood the secret, that consciousness itself could refine raw emotional energy, transmuting dense vibrations into pure, sparkling potential. In her small cottage, nestled between whispering pines, Maggie discovered that breath was not merely an exchange of air, but a sacred process of inner refinement. When anxiety would rise like a dark storm within her, she learned to breathe with intention, visualizing each inhale as a gentle polishing cloth and each exhale as a release of shadowy limitations. Her technique was simple yet profound. She would close her eyes, feel the breath moving through her body, and imagine fear dissolving, not through struggle, but through gentle, conscious transformation. With each breath, the dark emotions would begin to shimmer, breaking apart like old glass, reforming into something luminous and sharp-edged, diamond dust suspended in inner light. Doyle Ken, a farmer battling chronic exhaustion, learned a similar practice. When illness draped heavy over his body, he began to breathe not as a victim, but as a conscious creator. His breath became a healing current, washing through cellular memories, clearing stagnant energy, restoring vitality. The lesson emerged with crystalline clarity. Awareness is the true healer. Not force, not struggle, but a refined, focused consciousness that knows how to transmute density into light. Like a phoenix rising, your inner energy can be renewed moment by moment through the simple magic of intentional breathing. This is not meditation as escape, but meditation as active transformation. Each breath becomes a choice to polish your inner gem, to release what no longer serves, to allow brilliance to emerge from within. Practice. Imagine each inhale polishing your inner gem, each exhale releasing dullness into radiant clarity. Practice. Imagine each inhale polishing your inner gem, revealing a brilliance that has always existed beneath the dust of old doubts. With every breath drawn inward, feel light moving through hidden chambers of your being, smoothing rough edges and awakening forgotten confidence. Do not strive to create radiance. Simply uncover what was waiting quietly within. As you exhale, release every layer of heaviness that no longer belongs to you. Let stale worries, limiting stories, and lingering fears drift away like fine dust carried by a gentle wind. Trust that clarity does not arrive through force, but through allowing what is unnecessary to fall away. The more you release, the more naturally your inner light shines. Throughout the day, return to this sacred rhythm whenever your mind becomes clouded. One conscious inhale can remind you of your hidden brilliance, and one deliberate exhale can restore your sense of freedom. In time, you may discover that the gem was never becoming brighter at all. It was simply being revealed, breath by breath, in its original splendor. Chapter 30. The Return to One. In this moment of profound revelation, you stand at the threshold of understanding that will transform everything you thought you knew about reality. The journey through each chapter has been preparing you for this singular truth. The power you seek has never been external, but has always resided within the luminous core of your own awareness. Nancy Liu's story emerges as a crystalline metaphor, revealing how consciousness itself is the ultimate creative force. Every technique, every practice, every parable you have encountered was merely a gentle invitation to recognize your own inherent magic. The universe does not bestow power. It reflects the power already burning within you. When Nancy discovered that all her searching was a dance around the truth already nestled in her heart, she understood that manifestation is not about acquiring, but about recognizing. Your thoughts are not tools to manipulate reality, but expressions of the fundamental energy that weaves reality itself. Each belief, each feeling, each subtle intention is a brushstroke on the canvas of existence. Virgil Ray's transformation illustrates this profound wisdom. By releasing the desperate chase of spiritual techniques and external validation, he discovered a state of calm knowing. His effortless reality bending emerged not from force, but from a deep, tranquil alignment with the universal flow. When you stop struggling and start being, miracles become your natural language. The interpretation cuts through layers of complexity. The secret was never hidden. It was simply waiting for you to awaken, to recognize that you are not separate from the creative intelligence of the universe, but an intricate, essential expression of it. Your consciousness is not a small, limited thing struggling to influence a vast external world. Instead, you are the very source from which worlds emerge. This understanding transcends technique. It is not about doing, but about being. Not about acquiring, but about recognizing. Not about changing reality, but about remembering your fundamental connection to the infinite creative potential that breathes through all existence. As you absorb these words, feel the subtle shift happening within you. The boundary between your individual self and the vast, intelligent universe begins to dissolve. You are not just a participant in creation. You are creation itself, experiencing itself through your unique perspective. Practice. Rest daily in the remembrance I and the universe are one seamless breath shaping all beauty. Every audiobook on this channel is a doorway, but the full map of the metaphysical laws lies beyond what I can reveal in any single video. That map is shared privately inside our free newsletter, The Hidden Collection. Join now and receive a free copy of the Kybalion, the original text that first revealed these metaphysical laws to humanity. Limited time only. Conclusion. You stand at the threshold of understanding, where every breath becomes a bridge between inner landscape and outer manifestation. The journey through forbidden metaphysics has been more than an exploration. It has been an awakening to your inherent creative power. The universal truth whispers, you are not separate from the reality you experience, but the very consciousness generating it. Each moment is a living conversation between your deepest beliefs and the quantum field of infinite potential. Your emotions are not mere reactions, but precise conductors of energy, orchestrating experiences with remarkable intelligence. Mastery is not about controlling external circumstances, but about cultivating an internal state of harmonious alignment. When you resonate with love, gratitude, and unwavering certainty, the universe responds not as a distant force, but as an intimate collaborator. Your imagination is not fantasy, but a blueprint for emergence. The ancient wisdom carried through this text was never meant to be a secret locked away, but a sacred understanding to be lived, quietly, confidently. True power does not announce itself, it simply transforms. Each chapter has been a gentle invitation to recognize the creative pulse already breathing through you. You are both the dreamer and the dream, the observer and the observed, the artist and the canvas. In this realization lies the most profound liberation. You are never truly seeking power, but remembering the power that has always resided within your awareness. Breathe into this knowing. Let it settle into your cells. You are creation experiencing itself, moment by moment, with elegant, infinite intelligence.
If you enjoyed this exclusive audiobook, I handpicked this next book which will change your life.